Hey, Girl Scouts! It is Brooke coming to you live from my home in Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm so glad that you could join us today for our Daisy Welcome to the Flower Garden Part 3. So as we have some folks start to join us, we are going to start out a little bit different than we usually do. And if you've been participating in our first two Daisy Welcome to the Flower Garden journey workshops, I would love to hear how your seed starts are going. So if you can write in the comments if your seeds are growing and what they look like, that would be great. And if you haven't participated in the first two, that's okay. I did link the links to them in the comment section, so you can go back after this and watch those. But your question that you can answer is, have you started a plant from seeds before? Or have you planted seeds for a flower or vegetables or fruits? So as my friends start to join, go ahead and just write in the comment section your name, where you're tuning in from, and if you've been following along on our Daisy Flower Garden journey, I'd like to know an update of your seeds. Let me know what your seeds are looking like, if they've grown at all, how tall they are, what color they are. And if you haven't tuned in for the first two, go ahead and let me know if you have planted anything from seeds, whether it's flowers or vegetables. So it looks like Daisy Evie's seeds are growing. That's so exciting. Paisley's seeds are growing and getting taller. That's amazing. Looks like Jocelyn from Egg Harbor, Troop 50070. We sent pictures in the page. It has lots of green leaves. That is so exciting. I'm definitely going to check out what your little leaves look like. So Logan from Brookville, Ohio has grown 6 watermelon sprouts that have grown from seeds. That's amazing. I love watermelon. So I'm sure you guys are going to have lots of watermelon this summer. Dahlia from Columbia, South Carolina says hers are growing and getting tall. That is super exciting. So for any friends that are just joining, we're just writing in the comment log if you've tuned in for part 1 and part 2 of my Daisy Welcome to the Flower Garden. Just give me an update on how your seeds are growing and what they look like, what color they are, how tall they are. If you haven't joined me for the first two, just write in the comment log your name and where you're tuning in from, and if you've ever planted anything from seeds before, whether that is fruits or vegetables or flowers. I would love to know if you guys have started seeds and if you have any growing this year. So it looks like Evie, her seeds are green and some are about 3 inches, some are not even an inch. So it looks like we've had lots of progress on our Daisy Flower Gardens. That's so exciting. I'll go ahead and get started, but I will keep looking at the comment log. So, hi friends, my name is Brooke. I am a program manager from Girl Scouts of Western Ohio out of our southern region in Cincinnati, Ohio. So I am doing part 3 of our Daisy Welcome to the Flower Garden. If you haven't tuned in for parts 1 and 2, I did put in kind of the caption for the video, the links to part 1 and 2. You can also find them just on our Girl Scouts of Western Ohio Facebook page under the Daisy playlist, or you can go to our YouTube channel to check those out. So if you didn't watch those two, you might want to go back after this video and watch those two, just so you can get caught up. But thank you all so much for joining me. We are going to have a lot of fun. So I asked for an update on everyone's flowers. So if you're just now tuning in, week 1, we went through and we planted some flower seeds, whatever you had at home. So each week we kind of do an update of those seeds. Now my last video was 2 weeks ago, so I'm glad to see that some people have had quite a bit of growth. Now, unfortunately, I don't have my seeds with me today, but I will put an update of my seeds in the event page when I can give you guys an update. So for today instead, each week we talk about responsibility and how being responsible for our garden is a really good way to practice our Girl Scout law and practice living the Girl Scout law. So if any of my friends that have been tuning in can write in the comment log and remind us what we need to do with our seeds each week, what they need to be able to grow. So I'll go through. It looks like Annabelle from Tip City has 3 sweet pea flowers and they are tall. Katie's growing wildflowers. And got some sprouts. Her sprouts look really good. She sent me a picture. Addie from Pennsylvania has daisies that are growing. Oh, my cousins are watching. Hi, Aunt Mandy, and their plants are growing very, very tall in their greenhouse, so they will be planting them this week. Hi, Veda. Thank you so much for joining us. It looks like this is your first week and you have planted seeds before, so that's awesome. So it looks like even though we have some friends that are just tuning in, we have planted before. So Jocelyn wrote in the comments that our seeds need water and sunlight to grow. That's very good. So each week we go through and we water our flower garden. So like I said, I don't have my seeds today. I'm so sorry, but I do have this little aloe plant that I got actually from my Aunt Mandy. So I have my aloe plant and I have some water. So instead of watering my seeds today, I'm going to be watering my aloe plant because my aloe plant does need water and sunlight to grow, but you guys should water your flower seeds today. So I'm just going through and carefully giving it some water. And then I'm going to put it in a nice sunny spot so my aloe can grow big just like my flower seeds are. Now, one thing that I wanted to talk to you all about with our flower seeds is now we have to make decisions on where we want to plant them. They're starting to get big and it's going to start to get warmer. So you guys can actually take them out of your house and plant them in the ground. So one challenge that I have for all of you is to think about where you could put your flowers that might brighten someone's day. So I know I have like a good spot on the side of my house where I could plant flowers, but if I planted them there, then no one could really see them. So I would love if you guys could think of a place where you could put your flowers that they might brighten someone's day. So maybe you put them right in your front yard where everyone can see them. Maybe you take your seeds to your school or to a community garden. Someplace that you could probably walk to so you can make sure that you're watering them, but then other people in your community could enjoy them as well. Or maybe you want to take them over to a relative's house or a neighbor's house and plant them there so that they can have a little bit of color and sunshine in their day and in their yard. So as your seeds start to grow taller and taller, that is my one challenge to you. Think about where you can plant your seeds so that they will bring a smile to other people and other people can enjoy our daisy flower gardens just like we are. So, yep, it just looks like we have a couple other people. Oh, someone did say that they need soil and air. It is very important that our seeds get fresh air. So now that we've checked on our daisy flower garden, I have a fun and different activity for you. So this is called What's in the Bag. So in a paper bag, I have had my Cody go outside and gather 3 different nature items. So I am actually going to put a blindfold on and I'm going to describe to you all, and then in the comments I would like you to guess what I'm describing. So if we were in a normal troop meeting, we would kind of sit in a circle and go around the circle and everyone would get a chance to do that, but we had to modify it a little bit since I can just hang out with you guys via video right now. So I have my little headband here that I'm going to use as a nature items in this bag. So I'm going to put my blindfold on and describe them, and you guys try to guess what I'm describing. So this should be interesting. I haven't done a blindfolded video before. But Girl Scouts is all about trying new things. So, my first item is kind of long and rectangular, probably about 3 inches long. It's a little bit damp and it's kind of splintering at the ends. It is quite hard. It's something that you would probably find in a garden, a playground, would float in water. I can tell what it is just by feeling it. So it's about 3 inches long. It's rectangular. It's hard and a little bit damp because it's been raining at my house. Splintered and jagged. It's made out of the same material as trees. So I'll give you guys a couple minutes to guess what my first item is, and I will take my blindfold off and see if anyone has guessed in the comment log. So it looks like one friend has said a stick, and then Evie said a wood chip. So I know some other friends might still be guessing. So keep putting your guesses in. Oh, we have mulch, a stick, bark, mulch. So my first item is a piece of mulch or wood chip that's a little bit, it's pretty big for a piece of wood chip or mulch, but you guys are absolutely correct. It is a piece of wood, probably from our garden beds, that is mulch or wood chips. So that is our first item. Put my blindfold back on. All right, for item number 2, oh, all right, so this one is kind of smooth on the bottom, smooth and round, and it does almost like a critter has been eating it. And then there's a top that comes out, it's also round, it comes out a little bit over the smooth part, and this part's very rough. It's almost like the bottom part has a hat on. So it's covered in dirt, and it has a rough texture. Definitely has a hole in it and eating it, but a small critter like a squirrel or a chipmunk. So it was definitely found on the ground. It has lots of dirt on it. Again, it has like a little stem at the top of its little hat, and it has a rough texture, and then the bottom is smooth and round and has a hole where an animal has been eating it. So let's see if anyone has guessed this item. So it looks like my friend said acorn, mushroom, lots of votes for acorn. You guys are correct. So this one is kind of an old acorn. It looks like it was found, or it fell off the tree in the fall, and then it kind of went through winter, but it has its little acorn top, and the stem was up there, and then in the bottom it has the acorn seed, and then there's a hole here where it looks like maybe a squirrel was eating it. So that is our second item. Our first item is this piece of mulch or wood chip, and then our second item is this little acorn. So we have one more item that we are going to see if we can guess. All right. Our third item, this is very soft and fragile. It is kind of bendable. There's a long stem or stick that feels very smooth, and then like lots of round balls that come out at the end of it. There's a part of it that's very smooth and like a stem or a stick. It's about 2.5 inches long, and then at the end of it, it has all kinds of round balls that are very tiny. They fit between my fingers, and they're kind of pointed at the ends. If I pinch them between my fingers, they do kind of collapse. So this is a fragile item, but it's definitely part of nature. The balls at the end feel smooth, or the circles, the little round parts. Some of them are like open and flat, and the stick is very smooth. So let's see if anyone has guessed that item. Abby from Kansas said flower. We have someone that said leaf. Lots of votes for flowers. So this item is a little piece of wildflower. So it has these really pretty bluish purple parts at the end, and then this long green stem. So that is our third item, a nice little flower. So great job, you guys. You guessed those. So this is definitely an activity that you could do at home as well with your family or your siblings. You guys could, I just used like a little brown paper lunch bag, and I had my fiance collect some items, and then I put a blindfold on and described them. So you could have your caregiver or your adult at home collect some items, and then you could describe them to, you know, your siblings, or you could even FaceTime someone, and you could do it kind of like we did, where you describe the item and you try to have other people guess. So you don't have to do it, but if you guys wanted to play the guessing game too, you definitely could. So that is our second part of today. And then our last part is we are going to read the third part of our Daisy Flower Friends story. So if you guys remember, in the first meeting, our friends had discovered their community garden in their neighborhood, and it was filled with weeds, but they saw one little tulip, or one little daisy. And they actually had a honeybee that helped them find a secret box from Juliet Gordon Lowe, and the garden came to life with Girl Scouts and with the Girl Scouts, and the flowers started talking and they came to life. So this is what happened in the first part of our story that happened week 1 and week 2. This is part 3. So like I said, if you haven't watched those, I did put them in the description of the video. You can go back and rewatch so you're all caught up on the story. So that's what had happened before. So now we are on chapter 4 of our story. One of the weeks I read 2 chapters. So this one is called Flower Friends, Flower Needs. The morning dawned bright and sunny. The girls agreed to meet at the garden at 9 o'clock sharp. Chandra was the first to get there, then Campbell, then Cora. They barely said hello before pushing the big gate open. But after just one step into the garden, their mouths fell open. The beautiful garden they left behind the day before was much bigger and so much more beautiful. Green grass had sprung up all around. There were clover, lots of clover. There was clover, lots of clover, and there were so many flowers. Tulips, roses, violets, geraniums, and many more that the girls didn't even know the names of. They were so fancy looking. The girls looked around in wonder. The air smelled so sweet. Butterflies flitted around, birds chirped, and a caterpillar wiggled. And the golden honeybee buzzed around. A bird bath stood at the far edge of the garden. Beyond was a little pond. This was the most beautiful garden that the girls had ever seen. "Good morning," called out Amazing Daisy. The girls turned around to find Daisy swinging in the breeze, looking brighter than ever. "I don't know how you girls did it, but all of our flower friends have showed up overnight," Daisy said. "I thought about you and your friends before I fell asleep," said Chandra. "I dreamed about you and your friends," said Campbell. "I woke up thinking about you and your friends," said Cora. "But we didn't do anything," all 3 of the girls cried out at once. "Well, good thoughts and good dreams are powerful indeed," Amazing Daisy sang out. "Now come meet all of my friends." Lupe the lupine is bright blue. Her name is pronounced Lupe. She's always cool and relaxed, and she's honest and fair. She was born in Texas and moved to Minnesota. She spends her summers in Maine. She has family all over the world. Tula the tulip is red. She's courageous and strong. She's from the Netherlands, but her family moved there a long time ago from a land called Iran. Gloria the morning glory is purple. She's all about respect. She respects herself and others. She's from California and has family throughout South America and Asia. Jerry the geranium is bright magenta. That's a kind of red, kind of purplish. Jerry is all about respect, too. She's always respected authority. She grew up in the mountains of Virginia and has families all around the world, but especially in Greece. The daisies pointed on the ground, and this is Clover, she said. Then the daisy pointed to the ground. And this is Clover, she said. She gives our garden a nice green carpet and white flowers, too. In fact, she gives lots of things to our garden. Food for the animals and bugs, good luck charms for people, and sweet nectar. Her nectar helps our pals like honey make delicious clover honey. As Daisy Gordon Lowe used to say, Clover really knows how to use her resources wisely. Next, a delicate violet-colored flower stepped forward. Hi, I'm Vi the Violet, the flower said. I'm from Australia, and I'm so thrilled to meet you all. I hear you all are Girl Scouts. I love being a sister to every Girl Scout. Then a beautiful tall rose stepped forward. And last but certainly not least, here's Rosie the Rose. As usual, she's trying to make the world a better place. Rosie smiled at the daisy and the girls and shook their hands one by one. As you know, Rosie said, we could all use a better world. I'm hoping you will join me in making the world a better place. How about we start with this garden? What could this beautiful garden possibly need? Chandra wondered out loud. Oh, you might be surprised how much a garden needs, Rosie said with a laugh. Yes, Rosie is right, said Lupe. We need a lot of things to keep this garden growing. Let's think about this right now. We must all say that what we really mean, and that's being honest. We must be fair. We will give each flower a turn to speak. Lupe then turned to Daisy. Daisy, you know each of us so well. Why don't you lead the group? I'd be happy to help, Daisy said to Jerry. Let's start with you. Jerry the geranium flashed her black eyes. Well, you know, she said slowly, I so miss my cousins from South Africa. They smell so good, and I barely have a scent. What I wouldn't give to have a whiff of lavender or the sweet smell of basil. Basil? I love basil, said Campbell. I'd love to eat basil with tomatoes. I could plant some basil for you, and maybe sage too. My little sister is named Sage. She would love to smell real sage in the garden. She's almost 4, and in another year she'll be old enough to be a Daisy Girl Scout. Well, we would love to meet this Sage. Another sister for us, said Vi the Violet. And some fragrant friends will really make the world a better place, said Rosie. Sometimes even I get tired of smelling my sweet, beautiful self. Everyone laughed, all the flowers and all the girls. Then Zinni stepped forward. With all these new friends arriving, we're really going to need some good dirt. I mean really good soil, she added. So I think we'll need more worms in the garden. You guys know I love worms. Oh, Zinni, said Daisy, thanks so much for thinking of our soil. You are so considerate and caring. We definitely need good soil to eat and grow. What do worms have to do with good soil? Campbell asked. Oh, just about everything, said Zinni. They wiggle through and they keep it fresh. Said Campbell. I thought worms were just wiggly little things that came out after the rain and hid under the doormats. Yes, worms are good for sure, but if it's not too much to ask, I want some more honeybees, said Clover. Not just for my little clover flowers, but to give honey our bees some new friends too. I'm afraid of having more bees in our garden, said Jerry. That means more stingers. But Clover, I also know that you know what's best. You are the authority on bees, so I will respect your wishes. Don't be afraid, chimed in Tula. I have enough courage and strength for us all. I'll lend you all some. And I can help too, said Sunny. I'm big and tall, and I can see the bees buzzing all around the garden. I'll let you know if a bee is buzzing towards you. Thanks, Sunny. You're always so friendly and helpful. I'm worried about the bugs. I'm more worried about the bugs than the bees, Lupe said. How about some pretty ladybugs to keep the ugly bugs away? Ugly bugs? You mean bugs that are bad for plants? Like those little green bugs that stick to tomato plants? Campbell said. Yes, exactly, said Lupe. Those little green bugs are called aphids. Aphids. Sometimes they do a real number on me. Wow, you flowers have a lot of needs, said Chandra. I guess it takes a lot to keep a garden growing strong. Well, I know that growing basil is easy, said Campbell, but we're going to have to think a lot about the worms and the bees. And the ladybugs, chimed in Chandra. After all, we're just little girls. Well, it seems that you all are quite big and powerful to me, said Rosie. I'm sure the three of you can come up with a good plan. Maybe we can, said Cora. Maybe we just need some time to think. Let's go, vamonos. We'll think about it over lunch. I sure am getting hungry. So, that was kind of a long chapter of our story, but we met lots of different flower friends, and it also prepared us for when we put our flower gardens outside. There's a lot of things to think about more than just the flowers and the sunshine. We have to think about worms and good soil, and we also have to think about bugs and making sure bugs like those aphids, aphids, don't attack our flowers. And one thing that our flower friends talked about was ladybugs. So ladybugs will actually help eat some of those bad bugs that can attack your flowers. So does anyone remember any of the other names of the flowers that we met today? We had Sunny, who we met before. We had Zinni. I'll wait in the comments to see if anyone else remembers any of our other friends that we met. I think that was probably my favorite chapter of the story so far. I don't know about you all. Oh, it looks like someone did put in that our flowers need love. That is correct. Our flowers in our gardens definitely need love. So some of the other friends that we met today were Lupe, who is honest and fair, Tula, who is courageous and strong, Gloria, who respects herself and others, Jerry, who respects authority, Clover, who uses her resources wisely, Vi, who's a sister to every Girl Scout, and Rosie, who makes the world a better place. So it's important to live our lives always thinking about the Girl Scout law, just like our flower friends. Each of the flower friends that we met today represents a different part of our Girl Scout law. So just like they try their best to respect themselves and others, respect authority, use resources wisely, be a sister to every Girl Scout and things like that, you all can learn from our flower friends and do the same. So that is the end of our story time for the day. Oh, it does look like someone said Lupe. Lupe is one of the friends that we met today. Honest and fair. So very good. Thank you all for paying such good attention. So I hope that you all continue to take care of your daisy flower gardens, and you'll have to let me know in our event page where you end up planting your flowers and keep me posted, because I definitely want to see what happens with all of your flower gardens. So thank you all for tuning in for another part of our Daisy Welcome to the Flower Garden journey, and I hope that you guys all have a great rest of your day. Tune in at 2 p.m. for our brownie workshop for the day, and if you're not already a Girl Scout but would like to be a part of Girl Scouts and do more things like this, you can visit girlscouts.org/join to find out how to join a troop near you. So thanks so much for tuning in for another week of Daisy Welcome to the Flower Garden with me, and I hope that you all have a great day. Bye, friends.